that when we start with naturalistic assumptions, we come up with the Big Bang. We start with biblical assumptions, and those objects have all kinds of evidences that confirm that biblical account that the universe is designed and young. The Big Bang theory is wrong because the naturalistic atheistic assumptions are wrong. Well, so what? Does it really matter? Yes, it does. I want to close with a couple of video clips by some leading evolutionary astronomers. First one is Lawrence Krauss, who is an astrophysicist at Arizona State University and an atheist. And he's speaking at a conference of atheists in 2009. Watch and listen to what he says and the reaction.
The amazing thing is that every atom in your body came from a star that exploded. And the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about physics. You are all stardust. You couldn't be here if stars hadn't exploded, because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, all the things that matter for evolution weren't created at the beginning of time. They're created in the nuclear furnaces of stars, and the only way they can get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode. So forget Jesus. The stars died so that you could be here today. Okay? And anyway,
the stars died so that you could be here today. Now, Dr. Krauss is a brilliant scientist. I'm a mental midget compared to him. But that statement is arrogant foolishness. He doesn't know that the atoms in his left hand came from one star that exploded and the atoms in his right hand came from another star that exploded. I agree with him. This is the most poetic thing he knows. It's poetry, folks. It's not science. And you can see that evolutionists see this as an assault on the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, consider Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I quoted earlier about not knowing how stars formed. In the Cosmos series in 2014, which was all about biological, geological, and cosmological evolution, he told people this, and told students who are going to be using this curriculum in their public schools.
Our ancestors worshipped the sun. They were far from foolish. It makes good sense to revere the sun and stars, because we are their children. The silicon in the rocks, the oxygen in the air, the carbon in our DNA, the iron in our skyscrapers, the silver in our jewelry, were all made in stars billions of years ago. Our planet, our society, and we ourselves are stardust.
Did you hear what he said? Our ancestors worshipped the sun. They were far from foolish. It makes good sense to revere the sun and the moon and the stars because we are their children. This is idolatry. That's why I called this talk The Big Bang, Exploding the Idolatrous Myth. We read in the pages of Scripture in the Old Testament and the New Testament that people worship false gods and they bowed down to them. We still have idolatry today. This is idolatry. It's the worship of the creation rather than the creator. And then listen to this NASA astronomer.
So what is human existence? How can you actually sum it up? It turns out it's really pretty simple. We are dead stars looking back up at the sky.
Isn't that encouraging? Doesn't it thrill you to know today that you're just a dead star looking back up at the stars? You teach children that they're just the result of a Big Bang and blind, purposeless, directionless natural processes, accidents, time plus chance plus the laws of nature. There'll be no purpose or meaning. We're all a result of a long series of accidents. We're not dead stars looking up at the sky. We're made in the image of God. And He created us to know Him. And we have a sin problem because we're descended from Adam and Eve, who really lived in history and really disobeyed God. And there is purpose and meaning to life. Our purpose is to know our Creator, and meaning comes from knowing Him and knowing and living by the principles of His Word. Well,